What's up, y'all? It's Khadijah, and this is MediSyn, the podcast. MediSyn is a sincere dose of my reality that can potentially aid in the healing of another. The purpose of the podcast is to provide a window into my growth and healing journey with the hope to positively impact someone who feels like they're alone, who questions their thoughts, or who questions their own path. I want to start by saying that I just got off of a crazy, insanely good therapy out of a crazy, insane therapy session. There is so much for me to unpack. I'm not going to talk about it on this episode, but I will say some of the stuff that I just got through in my therapy session is certainly stuff that I want to talk about in future episodes. So stay tuned. Wow. If you don't have a good therapist, I'm going to post some links on the podcast webpage because I definitely feel like if you don't have a therapist, you need a therapist. You should get one, even if you're doing really well right now. Even if you go to once every 3 months, once every month, just listen. Therapy is amazing. So there's that. Kicking off this episode, I want to first start by really thanking everybody who's been rocking with the podcast, everybody who's been supporting me, everybody who's been listening in, tuning in, sharing. I appreciate sharing. That's my mom's. What's up, Mom? But I meant sharing. I want to thank y'all for that support. I want to thank you so much for just really listening, for hearing me. And even when y'all reach out to me and ask me how I'm doing, or reach out to me and tell me that something that I said was helpful to you, if you're giving me feedback on the length of the episodes, on the content of the episodes, I appreciate y'all. It means the world to me. This is a part of my healing. If it's helpful to anybody else, then that is huge to me. And I'm really grateful for the opportunity to talk with y'all and grateful that y'all support me. So there's that. Thank you so much. Thank you. Today is August 31st, and today is going to be about trauma anniversaries, guys. I want to give myself a huge shout out. Clap it up for me. Round of applause. I have made it through my typical trauma anniversary. August is always a very, very challenging or difficult month for me, and I have made it through August of 2021. I'm not going to say without tears because y'all know I've been crying. So with a whole lot of tears. But for the first time, like single, living with myself, having more time with myself than ever before. So I'm not going to lie, I was scared about this August. And I'm going to tell y'all some things about trauma anniversaries that'll tell you why. So let me just start by telling you guys, in 2009, I had a huge breakdown, like a mental breakdown, to the point that I was out of work. I took a leave of absence for work for probably a month or a little over a month. It was the time that my ex-wife and I got together, or it was like a month after we got together, and she was incredible. She really took care of me. I went home to Jersey for that whole month that I was home. I didn't eat. I didn't sleep. I lost so much weight, and it was just a really, really devastating time. And what I came to find is, for years and years after that, what I came to find is every August, late July, August, my anxiety would peak again. And I remember my mentor, my big sister, Michael, we met probably in, I'm going to just throw out 2014, 15. But we met and we got really close over a couple years, and she started to recognize that she's educated and she's a therapist herself, and she's got all the training and the skills, that she recognizes things. And she said one year to me, she's like, why is it that every year around this time, you really have a hard time? And I kind of told her about what happened. in August of 2009, and she explained to me trauma anniversaries, and it's something I had never heard of. I thought I was completely insane that every year in August I would just have a lot of challenges, and it was really, really cool that she brought that up to me. I was so grateful because it was something that I led myself to do a little bit of research into, and I did this, back in, I want to say 2018, maybe 2017, 2018 is when she said to me the whole, hey, it's seeming like you might have some trauma anniversaries type of stuff going on. And so I looked into it, and, I thought about this time of year. It's about to be 20 years from the September 11th attacks, which I know was a really huge thing for a lot of people. But like I said, I had a different August this year myself, and I wanted to celebrate myself and making it through my trauma anniversary season, and also just kind of let some folks know about trauma anniversaries and bring this up so that folks could know what it is, know some of the research behind it, and have some information that might help you if you do deal with or have your own trauma anniversary. Like I said, it's about to be September 11th. So this is, I felt like was a good time. And then also because I made it to the 31st without too many different issues. So let's get into some of the research that I found out about trauma anniversaries. Now, all right. Before I get started, I just want to give a trigger warning. In the rest of this episode, I'm going to speak a bunch about PTSD and some other things. I'm going to talk about child loss. I'm going to talk about death. Those things I'm going to graze over. Not going to get too deep into them, but trauma anniversaries or anniversary reactions, all of that is related to PTSD. So I just want to put that out there and, make sure that folks are aware. Okay, so now y'all know I like to give you some information from the big brainy folks. I like to give y'all information that's actually research from people who are way smarter than me when it comes to my episode topics. And this time's not going to be any different. All right, so when I was reading up on trauma anniversaries, which I want y'all to know that's what I call it. A lot of the research and things I saw, it's actually referred to as anniversary reactions. And it is related to PTSD. But when I was doing the research and reading up on it, I read up and I found a study out of Yale that was conducted back after the Gulf War. So about 6 years after the war, the researchers had veterans and their spouses report on their best and their worst months over a 12-month period. And when the data was all compiled and compared, there was evidence that the months in which the veterans had previously experienced a traumatic event were the months that the subjects would experience greater irritability, moodiness, and or have disturbed sleep. Now, two things I gained from this. I thought it was very interesting, and I don't want this to escape y'all. Number one, the number of people who reported having the worst month around the anniversary of their trauma was greater than it being a by chance type of thing. The report showed that there is a correlation between these feelings and the anniversary. So once again, it's real. And like I said, yeah, they call them anniversary reactions in the studies. So I will have some information about that on the podcast website. Y'all can look this up. This was important to me because it showed that I wasn't crazy. If you've ever experienced this, I want y'all to know y'all not crazy either. The second thing that stuck with me, and I want this to sink in for y'all, is that the study happened 6 years after the war. So that presumably at least 6 years after the event occurred. So that showed me that the anniversary of the trauma can be persistent. It doesn't necessarily just go away after 2 or 3 years. And a similar study was conducted on parents who lost a child. Now, that study revealed that the body might also have these reactions around trauma anniversaries. And I'm not going to get all into that one because it's really sad. It's really grim. But as usual, I'll add that link and link that article on the podcast website as well. So next thing, if y'all are questioning why this happens, as usual, it's because of our frenemy brain. So brain captures the who, the what, the where, the weather, the sounds, maybe even the smells. It does that to create memories. And when something really, really bad happens, brain connects those memories to the negative event, right? So boom, brain tries to be a good friend and notify us that we're in danger. If all the stuff that happened around that time are present again, and now they're present now, then brain starts to trigger us and try to tell us like, hey, shorty, you're in danger. You know what Whoopi Goldberg saying, ghost,
you in danger, girl.
So that's what brain starts to say. So for me, it's hot outside. The days are longer. We're beginning to prepare for back to school. The city's bustling. I'm trying to juggle work and I'm trying to live my best life because people are out here. And brain starts to say, yo, be careful. Remember what happened that last summer, that one summer in 2009? Remember that time you was, the city was bustling. Y'all was about to get ready to go back to school. It was hot outside. And then I get to thinking about it and suddenly there's this spiral. I'm anxious. I can't sleep as well. Sometimes I don't sleep at all. That leads to irritability, so on and so forth. It kind of becomes this spiral, and those same things, the sounds of the summer, the feel of the summer, the end of summer, and just knowing that it's the end of summer, I can see it on a calendar, and be like, wow, it's the end of July. Okay, here goes, buckle up. So that's kind of how that happens. Now, many people experience anniversary reactions or trauma anniversaries around times of grief. Birthdays and death dates can be extremely hard, extremely difficult times for people. And I think that's fairly common knowledge. I think it's just important that people know this can also happen for other traumatic events, though. It seems really simple, but I really didn't know about this. I wonder if you guys knew about it. So I think the next question and the big thing right here is, how can we maintain our sanity? How can we get through these trauma anniversaries and manage through the anniversary reactions? For me, as with most things, just knowing this information really helped me progressively over the years. Ever since Michael said that to me and put that information in my ear, I became more aware. And then I was able to do the next thing, which another thing that folks say is to plan ahead. If it's a specific date for the trauma anniversary, plan ahead, have something to do to preoccupy yourself, surround yourself with the people you love, with your family, with your support system. Another thing, find a support group, work on that trauma, whatever it is. Journaling, I always tell y'all I'm a big proponent for journaling. And get connected with a therapist. I said it at the beginning of the episode, man. Get with a therapist, work through that trauma. Try to see what you can do to find those healthy coping mechanisms, and healthy coping exercises, because it really does help. This was the first year that I was crying about some specific stuff and I didn't have that spiral. I mean, I've been having really crazy dreams. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all know that I'm going through a breakup, which could have made this 10,000 times harder. But the reality is I've made it. I always had this fear that, like, oh my God, that time of year is coming. What if I have to take a break off of work again? What if I have to, take a break off work and then I lose my job because I'm not at work, and then I become homeless, and then, like, again, that anxiety becomes this downward spiral. And this year I did it. I survived. I made it. It's August 31st and I did it. And so I wanted to share with y'all, like I said, about trauma anniversaries, anniversary reactions. I wanted to tell y'all some of that research about what happens, why it happens, and what we can do to kind of stop having those horrible experiences with the anniversaries, and hopefully things ease up. And for anybody who, I have a lot of folks from New York, New Jersey. I'm from Jersey. Anybody who, and even being down here in DC, anybody who dealt with 9/11 in a really, really crazy, impactful way, I know that now is a time that this might impact some folks, and it might be a trauma anniversary in a way that we never thought about it before, or haven't thought about it in years, because it's 20th anniversary, so everybody's talking about it. There's documentaries and things about it coming out. I think it's really important that I thought it was really important that I take this time to deliver this episode now. So I hope y'all enjoyed it. Tell me if you guys have any specific things that y'all do to maintain your sanity, to get through your trauma anniversaries. Have you all ever experienced this before? Is this something you knew about? Hit me up. You guys can find me on the socials, at MediSyn Podcast, and also MediSyn Podcast at gmail.com is the email. I love to hear from y'all, so let me know what's going on. All right, thank y'all so much, and I look forward to talking to y'all again next week. Have another one for you. Peace out.